Rogues are an absolute terror to behold. I've played one myself in a solo Tactician run, and I've also turned Astarion into one in my party Tactician run. So I want to show you guys why this is so powerful, how I build it, and the setups that I opt for in the early game. I will of course update this later in as I play more with Astarion and get him deeper into the skill tree, but let's start us off with some simple stuff. So essentially, first things first, we want to get ourselves a longbow. You can get this by one of two ways, which is either choosing Elf, because you'll get longbow proficiency, or you can get gloves of archery from the goblin camp. Now, you can do two options here, and I am going to be experimenting, is either longbow or double hand crossbow. I kind of want to see how this works, because you can use your bonus action potentially to shoot the crossbow, but normally what we're going to be doing is using our bonus action to hide. Because the thing that Assassination rogues get is sneak attack. This is where things get exceptionally stupid. Deal extra damage to a foe you have advantage against. A normal range shot will deal 4 to 11, however a sneak attack will deal 6 to 23. You can use this once per turn, and with some of the stuff Assassination rogues get, gets very dumb. Essentially, quickest way to get advantage is to have your frontline position beside them. So you play someone like Karlach, you play someone like Lae'zel, you jump them in front of a target, and all of a sudden your Astarion will now have advantage, meaning that he can brace for increased range damage, and then follow that up with sneak attack from very, very far away. Astarion does regular 20s, 23s, etc. at level 4. He can solo some of the rangers in the backline with 1 or 2 shots. It's pretty stupid. On top of that, since we have cunning action hide, this will allow you to gain advantage on things that can't see you. There is a button that you can press on controller. Right now it is holding down right stick that will show you all of the lines of sight in combat. Utilizing this, you can choose exactly where to position yourself, because for example, if you're in a line of sight of somebody, say Withers for example, and we hold my stealth button, we'll see, well, hiding successful in this case, but not necessarily always. As we move around, you'll see I lost my condition hiding because I failed it. But if I stand over here and I go into stealth, then he's never going to be able to do anything. And then of course we can sneak attack and 98% advantage. You see kind of what I'm operating with there. So, in regards to stat spread and skill options and what have you, for Astarion you want to go for very high dex. You can also opt for the feat 4+2 dex if you want to, but in this case I went for sharpshooter because it is exceptionally good. Basically lets you get around all high ground rules. So essentially when you're firing up, you'll have a disadvantage on the shot, but if you're firing down, you'll have advantage on the shot. But if you take sharpshooter, you can gamble your damage if you want to, because weapons you're proficient with will have a -5 penalty to their attack roll, but deal increased damage. You can turn this off or on at will if you want to. I just leave it off. But this will make it so you no longer have to deal with that high ground, low ground issue, and you can shoot wherever you want with decent options. What makes Assassin so powerful is its unique bonuses. Assassinate Initiative, for example, is in combat you have advantage on attack rolls against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. This means that you can sneak attack pretty much anything if you lead combat with Astarion. On top of that, if Astarion gets to go in the turn order first, which he should do because he has higher dexterity and thus higher initiative than most people, he can take a sneak attack at ranged targets and completely disintegrate someone before the fight even starts. Couple that with ambush. Any successful roll against a surprised creature is a critical hit. What's even cooler is if you start a fight with Astarion, he will surprise everyone, making all of his follow-up shots a critical hit, or even his main shot a critical hit. And to top that off, over top of that, because it wasn't good enough to begin with, if you start a fight, normally you will lose your action. If I start a fight with Moonbeam on my druid, I won't be able to act in that first round of combat, even if I positioned it perfectly and set myself up. Yeah, Assassins just don't give a fuck about that rule whatsoever, because Assassin's Alacrity makes it so you immediately restore your action and bonus action at the start of combat, which makes this exceptional for not only solo play, but major heavy damage and initiating combat. Lead with your sneak attack on a target that you don't, that you're not in combat with, from stealth, like so, lead with the sneak attack, and then you'll immediately be thrown into combat and you'll get your action back. They'll be surprised, and you'll get a second sneak attack to blow them out of the water. If you are playing Astarion and you are playing a rogue, and he has sleight of hand +8, as well as if you give him +1 gloves of power, which you'll find at the start of the game, he gets some very absurd lockpicking bonuses. And you can also get the +1 bonuses for being happy, like he has right now in my game, because if you let him feed on you, since he's a vampire, he'll get +1 to all attack rolls.